Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to my channel. How about a little recap and update from one of the main characters of my doll stories from Dollstagram? Now we have to figure out which character we want to use from the doll stories to focus on today. So let's get out our rusty trusty BDT Residence directory book. And let's see. I know we've done a lot already. Let's see. There's got to be someone in here we haven't focused on yet. Ah, yes. This is a perfect selection right here. I love this character. Here he is, Tim, one of my action figures. Now, his family tree was done by his son, what do you call it, the adopted son, Junior. So we'll get into that more. Let's learn more about Tim himself. Introducing Tim. So technically, Tim was not supposed to be a main character in my storylines. He actually was supposed to be a supporting character for another main character, but we haven't even gotten to her. And somehow they ended up switching places. Tim became more popular than she did. You know what? Let me get into the character of Tim first before we go down that line, because it's a long story. As most of you may already know, I picked the doll or action figure's birthday by the day that they first appear on my Dollstagram page. And as you can see here, Tim first appeared on my page on December 30th. Tim being born on December 30th makes him a Capricorn, the sea goat, which means he's a leader, sensible, spontaneous, patient, focused, determined, and loyal. And yeah, that sounds about right when it's describing Tim. Yeah. Tim's bio reads as follows. Age 35, occupation sports agent. Birthday December 30th, relationship status engaged. Family includes Granny, his mother, Miracle, his daughter, Alicia, his fiance, Junior, his adopted son, and Michaela, his adopted daughter. His hobbies include volunteering for youth sports programs. Time for a recap. So in my doll stories, Tim was married and his wife actually passed away during childbirth and left him with a beautiful daughter that he named Miracle. Now there was a scandal going on between Tim and his late wife's sister, Vicky. But he asked me not to discuss that with you during this time and this because he wants to kind of focus on the positive attributes that he has, not so much his negative mistakes. His sister-in-law, Vicky, totally took advantage of him in his lowest points, being a new father, a single father as a widow, and she knew what she was doing, let's just say that. Tim fell for her allure, and basically there was an infatuation involved, and there were some things that Vicky was doing to Tim. It depends on your viewpoint, but it wasn't right. Tim capped his relationship with Vicky on the DL and basically pursued just being the best father he could be to his daughter Miracle. Here they are at the daddy-daughter dance, which of course she helped dress him and tied his tie, which is why it looks crazy right here in this picture. But he spent every single moment with his daughter to make sure that the relationship was secure with that, and the stuff that he did behind the scenes in the dark with Vicky was once a month type of thing. Tim eventually decided to retire from basketball and go into sports management in order to spend more time with his daughter and get away from Vicky. As a former NBA star, he knew the ins and outs of the contract management piece, so he decided to use his intelligence from that to help out other players that are up and coming in the basketball industry. unfortunately throwing himself into his career with sports management and then being a loving, doting, kind of spoiling father to his daughter Miracle left no time for a love life. And that is until he ran into Alicia at a Santa Claus visit event at the toy store on Main Street. Alicia's friend Tiff saw how Alicia was looking at Tim while they were standing in line for their kids to visit Santa, and she decided to push her into Tim, causing a little distraction. Tim and Alicia had conversations while standing in line for hours to go to see Santa, and their children, Junior and Miracle, hit it off really well, even though Miracle is a couple of years older than Junior. As you can see here from the timestamp, this was back in December 2019. Here's Miracle with Santa, which is Tim's daughter, and then here is Junior with Santa, which is Elisa's son. Notice the dates for both pictures, December 2019. Hold on to that. I'm going to get back to that later. So, Alicia and Tim exchanged numbers and decided to meet up for a date night. Tim took Alicia to Tiana's Place, which is a 3 Michelin star restaurant, Louisiana cuisine, in the BDT. The two had such a lovely evening for dinner and dancing at Tiana's Place that it escalated into a visit to Tim's apartment. Let's just say things went very well. That is until the next morning when Tim's mother, Granny, brought his daughter Miracle back to the apartment thinking that she was just bringing her home to get some things and not understanding that Tim had a female caller the night before. Or what do you call it? Not caller. What's the thing? A visitor. Granny was embarrassed, but Miracle was ecstatic because she felt like her daddy had finally found a woman to become her new mommy. Anyways, so after that whole encounter, Alicia went back to Arizona with her friend Tiff and her son Junior, and Tim stayed in Maryland and continued his life on. Tim had never done a long-distance relationship before, neither had Alicia, but it kind of worked for them for over a year. While Alicia was away, Tim decided to get into some modeling because he needed some extra income to take care of some things, and he did not want to kind of force things that didn't work well with him and his schedule. His athletic modeling actually did pretty well, and as he was doing them, he would always send his proofs to Alicia for approval. Alicia noticed, and she would send him some pics back to kind of engage him a little bit while they had their long distance relationship going on. I told him that he should thank me because I'm the one who did the photography for him and did some little risque pictures just for Alicia from Tim. Alicia liked the pictures and she approved. She really approved. That is until Alicia was casted on a paternity TV court show. When Alicia first met Tim, she explained to him the situation as to why she was in the BET to begin with. And here's a couple of demos from the show, headliners, to show you what the show is all about. Welcome to Fatherhood Litigations. I'm here to give you a tour of our courtroom. Here is where the witness will sit, and here is where the court clerk will sit. Here's where the judge will sit. This will be the first courtroom TV show of its kind because this show has 6 baby mamas.
What the hell is going on in here?
Oh my god, it's Otis.
I am the bailiff in this here courtroom. I said get out.
Whatever, Otis. This here is the gallery where the audience will be seated.
I said get out. I said get out. Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
So come on, let me see you get gone. Baby mamas, this your song. Been pregnant for way too long. Now tell the DJ turn it off. Turn it off.
If she a baby mama,
Go ahead.
she gon' do that baby mama.
Work.
She gon'
And through it all, Tim stood by Alicia's side throughout the midst of this chaos. Now, mind you, Tim only knew Alicia for a couple of years and it was all long distance throughout the entirety of their relationship. Even when Alicia found out that Chase was not her son Junior's biological father, Tim still stuck around for the whole thing.
Okay, when it comes to 2-year-old AJ Collins, you are not.
Regardless of the results, Tim decided right then and there he was going to be there for Alicia regardless. The whole situation was too traumatic for Alicia, and Tim agreed to let her and Junior stay with him until everything panned out. Needless to say, the relationship thrived over the next year, and things escalated quite well. 1 year later, Tim invited Alicia with him as his +1 to a Pretty in Pink event. He had set up an arrangement where an airplane would fly over top of the event with a sign that says, "Will you marry me?" And while Alicia and everyone else was looking up at the airplane trying to read the sign, Tim got down on one knee and proposed. And of course, Alicia said yes. Now that was way back in 2020, and here we are, fast forward to 2026, and they're still not married yet. Okay, now it's time for an update. These days, Tim is still a highly respected sports agent for a lot of high-profile athletic clients. Some of Tim's clients listen and some of them don't. And they just have to learn the hard way. Take, for example, this client, Clay. Tim is working late tonight, so he calls over his best friend, Glenn. He has something to discuss with him.
Hey man, what's the emergency?
No emergency. I just had to call you in to ask a favor.
A favor?
Yes, a favor. You want to be my best man in my wedding?
Your wedding? What you mean?
I decided to get remarried.
What? You? Tell me more.
Well, since I've been married before and Alicia hasn't, I figured I'd give her the wedding of her dreams.
That is not Alicia. Who's that? She fine, man.
That's Dina, and she's married.
Oh, my bad.
Mr. Duncan, a pleasure to meet you. Oh, and is this your best man?
You want me to be your best man?
Yeah, that's what I said when you first got here.
Tim knows that Dina is one of the Splat Pack members along with his girl, Alicia. So she calls him in as an event planner to help plan his wedding for him. Dina confides in Tim that Alicia has always wanted a Winter Wonderland themed wedding. And Tim agrees, but his thing is keep it a secret because he wants it to be a surprise for his fiancée, Alicia. Dina goes down her checklist and agrees. Budget, check. Guest list, check. Venue, check. And, of course, catering, check. Everyone agrees on the Winter Wonderland wedding invitation. Okay, so you YouTubers here today watching this video are the first to know that February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2027, save the date because that's going to be the wedding date of Alicia and Tim. Dina warns Tim that Alicia's going to pry as much as she can, so he has to play it off, even when he goes around her tonight for dinner at Mimi's Cafe. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Where did Michaela come from? Hold on a second. I have an explanation for that. Okay, pay attention because this is going to go fast. Let's go back to our BDT residence directory so I can show you a few things. All these families are intertwined somehow. Let me give you a better closure on what's going on here between Tim, Alicia, her son Junior, Michaela, all of them. Okay, let me get my pointer out so I can show you a few things. Now, as you can see here, this is Michaela and Junior, right? And this is Alicia's son, Junior. Michaela is Junior's half-sister with the baby father of Alicia. Okay, look at this little tree here I made, right? We have all the family members here. As you can see here, we have Michaela and Junior as siblings, half-siblings. Miracle is a step-sibling. Okay, let me move on. I have more to explain. Let's go back to another family. Okay, this is Chase's family. Chase is actually Junior's uncle because he is a set of triplets. So Billy and Willie are Junior's cousins, first cousins because their brothers are uncles. As you can see here in Bernice's family, this is Willie and Billy, who are the cousins of Junior because their father's name is Chase, who is the brother of Chance. Okay, hold on. Let me break this down a little bit more. Okay, you know what? Let's go back to that Christmas picture from 2019 where all the kids were together. I can break it down better there. Okay, remember this Christmas picture with all of the cousins and siblings and half-siblings together? First, we have Phoenix and Ember, who are CJ's children, which are cousins to Junior because of the triplets brothers who had all these kids, right? And then over here we have Billy and Willie, who are Chase's children, which are, he's the second of the triplets. And this here circled in green is Junior with his cousins. He actually only has them as cousins, no actual half-siblings. And here we have a group picture of all of the cousins and siblings. Ariel's daughter and son, Ember and Phoenix, who do not have any half-siblings. They're all cousins. We have Junior, who is also a cousin, no half-siblings. But Michaela's not pictured here in the photo. We also have Brandon, who's not pictured in the photo. He's also a brother of Billy and Willie, being one of Chase's children. And then we have Snow, and we have... And then here's Max, who's also a cousin, but he's also half-siblings at being one of Chucky's kids with Snow. Anyway, Miracle is happy as a clam because she's got a new mom in Alicia. Alicia and Tim took Michaela off to college for the first time last year. And even though Michaela is not Tim and Alicia's biological daughter, because she is related to Junior, they felt some kind of way about sending her off to college. Regardless, Michaela comes home every Christmas break and for summer break, and she is a big part of this family. Miracle and Junior love Michaela wholeheartedly as their big sister. And she is so happy to be a part of this family. Okay, who's cutting onions in here? Moving on. About Tim's hobbies. Remember Tim's hobby? Doing youth sports athletic teams And one of the things that he really likes to contribute back to his community is hosting a summer basketball camp for the youth in the BDT. Because Tim understands that all children learn differently, he makes sure to incorporate math and reading to each of his basketball camp sessions. And even though Junior is his adoptive son, he makes sure not to treat him any differently from the other team players. Every day at the basketball camp, Tim makes sure that all of the basketball campers learn how to write plays, how to encourage teamwork, and other things that make a great team for basketball playing. Tim's basketball summer league does not allow the campers to get participation trophies. You have to do something for the team in order to get a trophy here. Each player on the team understands their part . Bottom line, Tim feels like this is his gift back to the community by helping the kids achieve their goals. Tim's story is to be continued. So tune back in on Dollstagram to see where his life goes from here on out. And that's the end of Tim's story for now. But before you go, please remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you here next time on That Mama Bear Jenny Dolls. Later.